Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be talking about AI assisted browsers and, if they're a good fit for you or not. So, is it practical? Is it something you would use? And I've got to say that when I first started playing with these, it was quite different because I was not expecting AI to take over and help me as much as it did. It actually did a dang good job of helping me do my searches. And what I decided to do was continue using it, forcing myself to use it for several days, just trying to figure out what a good blend of using this would be versus just bringing up Chrome as an example and bringing up a Google search, which it's AI assisted now to some degree with Gemini. But I wanted to dive into a couple of these today, mainly the getting into the Comet browser from Perplexity AI, and then we're going to talk about the Genspark browser from Genspark AI. Excuse me. And what we're going to do is kind of do a quick demo of each of these. And inside of there, I'm just going to come up with a normal search, something I would normally do, or maybe I'm going to visit a website and I'll show you what the assistant looks like inside the browser experience for each of these. So we're going to start with the Comet browser. So Comet is made by Perplexity AI, and it's a very powerful engine on the back end. If you're not familiar with Perplexity, Perplexity actually does a really good job of being able to dig in and get real-time search results from real-time sources. And what we're going to do is talk about the different things that I would do with it. You can decide what's appropriate for you, or even if it's a good fit for you or not. Okay, so when you first get inside of the Comet browser, and I'll put a link in the description of this video or in the post in the community for you to go download the Comet browser and the Genspark browser. Now, you'll see an assistant tab up here. You'll see some other stuff. Both of these browsers let you import profiles, browser profiles, whether you're using Edge or Firefox or Chrome, whichever the case may be. You can import those settings and use them. Inside of Perplexity, when you first launch the Comet browser, there's several of these assistants that are already in a library over here. So like open Google Maps and build a walking route to the top 5 attractions in San Francisco. So something, if you were going to go research that and figure that out, you could actually do that, and it will go do that navigation and that research for you instead of you manually having to dig through those results, which is really, really cool. Inside of just a blank browser tab that I opened over here, of course, you see your account. I am a pro user in Perplexity. You can be a free user. I believe you can use it as a free user, but you're limited on what you can do. Now, notice there are some shortcuts and commands you could do to kind of quickly move through some things. So if I'm inside here and I click slash, then I can have it teach me about the Comet browser or what's trending on social. We'll start with that for a minute. Let's just do that. Now it's going to show me the latest trending topics for the last 24 hours on social media. Now, because I'm logged into Facebook and I'm logged into Twitter, actually, no, I'm not logged into Facebook from the Comet browser yet. So if I were, I could go get the trending information from those social channels. So we'll go ahead and stop that since I'm not logged into those. That's probably a poor example. But let's just go ahead and open a new browser tab. So let's talk through some of the options that you see on the toolbar here. So you have your normal search, and because I'm a pro member, it's unlimited access as a pro member. Now, when you click here, you could see some of the assistants that are already there that you could work with. I've not found a lot of value in those because I'm not really doing these things. Now, when you click over here, you can create a new project, a new assistant that you could rerun. So maybe it's looking for those social media posts for the last 24 hours. You could actually create those, save those as your own assistant, and then play those back. And you could also, which I think is really cool, and you can do this with both browsers actually, you could turn your ideas into completed docs, slides, dashboards, and more. Well, Perplexity has Perplexity pages. Genspark has Spark pages, and they're published, discoverable, do follow links out there on the internet when you publish the content. So maybe you're doing a research task. You've got the research together, and you go, I'd really like to kind of put that together in more of a polished report. You could do that, and then you could turn around and save it or publish it to a page that you could share with others, or you could leave it out there for yourself and come back to it and kind of build a library for yourself along the way. Now, we're just going to switch back to normal search, and then over here, you can set your sources. By default, it's just the web. But if I wanted to look through, volumes of academic papers, I could enable that as well. And you can refine and filter your searches inside of here. One thing I think is really, really handy, I use Notion databases a lot. And there's plenty of other connectors as well. But if I wanted to turn on Notion, I could actually search my connection to my Notion library and search through my own Notion databases combined with my other research. So maybe I've been building something for a while around generative AI, and I wanted to be able to also tap into what I've saved in my Notion databases. It could actually do that in its research. So it could tap into your own material, and it could also tap into online material and sources that are out there. Now, if you're interested in finance, SEC filings, etc., you could turn that on and make it a more finance-oriented search. But we're just going to use the web search for right now. If you wanted to attach any files for reference, it could consume that and use that as an input source to consider in its searching. And then with both of these, you can do dictation where you could do speech to text, but since I'm talking to you on the microphone, that may not work. But you could easily do a speech to text type approach. And down at the bottom, notice you have edit widgets. So if I wanted to, I could customize what I want my page to look like. I could have some top sites that I visit. Don't really care about wormholes, but I could maybe put the weather up there or the clock. But for me, I like the most simple of experiences. I don't like a cluttered search interface. So without further ado, let's go ahead and say I want to. We'll start by navigating somewhere. Notice we're honed in on search right here, Perplexity search. I want to go to, let's see, where's a good website that we want to consume some information from? We'll go to TechCrunch. So we'll go to TechCrunch.com. And while we're on TechCrunch, we're looking through here, and I would have to dig through here looking at all these news headlines. But maybe I just want to consume this in a hurry. I want to be able to summarize this information. So now I'm just going to come over here and say assistant, and it'll pop up an assistant over here. Notice it knows the context that you're in the TechCrunch website. Summarize this info and tell me the 3 most noteworthy articles I should pay attention to. Now, all I've got to do is let that run. I could go do other things. I could open another tab, whatever the case may be. But notice it's digging through here, and it's quickly finding me the 3 headlines, or the 3 that are the most noteworthy, the ones that are most notable. So, why are these important? And it's then able to take that information, consume it, dig down in it, and be able to dive into the information. Now notice it says I've hit my Comet Pro search limit. I'm not too worried about the Pro search. We could just leave it as the normal search and turn off Pro mode. I don't need Pro mode unless I'm doing some intense research. I'm trying to do some things that are more involved. So by default, I have mine set to Pro, so I hit my limit for the day. That will, and I'm not going to upgrade to Max at $200 a month. So to me, that's kind of crappy. It doesn't let you get far into the Pro limits to be able to pull into this. And let me show you what that looks like if we refine that. Hang on just a second. You know what? I'm not going to spend too much time on this. You get the idea. So notice it went through and it found the sources. It looked through the information that's on the screen. Wherever I was, whatever website I was browsing, not only could I have it dig into that and summarize that information for me, I could actually have it go do some comparison shopping. I could have it go do some research for me on products that might be on a website, or maybe it's information on a website, and go way more in depth than what I just did right here. But I'm going to turn off the assist. I'm actually going to close this tab. We're going to come back over here, and let's open one more new tab, and I want to show you something. Let me turn this off. Well, there used to be a little button here where you could disable the Pro Assistant. Let's see if we could still do it, or if I've hit my limit for the day already. Let's just pick one of these. Open YouTube, find the official NASA moon landing video, and jump to the moment Armstrong says, "One small step for man." Kind of cool because it's context aware of the video it's looking at. So notice it went over here, it did its search, it found the video. Now it's digging into the source of that video. Nope.
You get close to it, it's almost like powder. Ground mass, grapevine.
That was the actual scene where Neil Armstrong talks about, one giant step for mankind. So anyway, it followed my instructions. It opened it up. It pulled that out. It located it. I don't want to make Comet my default browser. I don't like other applications picking my default browser for me. What you will find that's a nuisance is it'll nag the crap out of you to make it the default, just like they all do. We don't care about that, so we'll just leave it at that. All right, so you get the general idea of an assisted browsing experience inside of here. Now, you have some other things that are over here. I'm not going to spend much time on it right now. You could go through and do this at your leisure. But if you wanted to go discover topics, you wanted to go discover some entertainment, you could go create spaces. And what's interesting in the spaces is they're categories, if you will. So maybe you're researching 5 or 10 things, or you keep coming back to researching things. You can save those in your Perplexity spaces. And you could get to those from anywhere you're logged into your Perplexity account, whether it's the mobile device and you've got the app here, or it's inside, a desktop experience inside a desktop browser. So we are now going to move on to the Genspark browser. We're going to talk about that. So let me switch over to Genspark. Now, I am partial to Genspark. I don't know why. I tend to like it because, to me, this whole super agent experience right here saves me a ton of time. And why is because the super agent determines what other agents, what other AI agents and MCPs and other stuff that it needs to call to do things. So it will determine if it needs to launch a document, if it needs to do something there, or it needs to use Designer, or it needs to use image creation. You have all these different agents inside of Genspark that it can take advantage of. And what I found is it does a really good job of honing in on that and determining what it needs to do. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a moment. Now, just like with the Comet browser, you have the Ask Genspark, where you could be here. It's context aware. Of course, it knows it's inside the Genspark workspace, but maybe I went over here to Amazon, okay? And I'm inside my account logged into Amazon. Now I could just click, let's go search, let's just go look at deals for robot vacuums. Now I could come over here and say Ask Genspark. It knows where I'm at. Are the reviews good on this product? And because it's context aware of where it's navigating to and searching, it'll go look and determine if it has a favorable review, okay, based off of what I just asked it. And it's going to go do its searching, and notice it's digging down doing product searching, and it's digging. What I like about Genspark versus Comet is you don't hit those limits on pro searches. It does use credits if you want to do the paid plan, but you also get free credits. I am a paid member for Genspark because I use it so heavily. but you can decide what works for you. I think they give you like 10,000 AI credits per month, but searches, actual chats, you can have unlimited chats if you want to. It costs you nothing extra. So inside of there, that's a great experience. And you have on-device AI, which I covered in another video, where you can do local LLMs to do your own private AI, if you will, on your computer. So notice what it came back with. So based on the information from both the Amazon product page and product search data, here's what it could tell me. So it did a review. It noticed this product was a 4 out of 5 stars out of 262 customer reviews. As we dig down through here, some users mentioned initial setup complexity. So some really good things to highlight and note from those reviews. And when it's talking about these, it's actually saying it's a generally positive feedback. And it's marked as Amazon choice. Okay, so it's giving me really good insight and information and talking about the current discounts. To me, that saved me a ton of time. I don't have to dig through there. I don't have to go find all those sentiments and reviews. I'm able to do that quickly. Now, notice what's popped up inside the browsing experience. Let's say I'm in here and I've done the search, and we're gonna close this out in just a second. Let me come over here. Let's just pick a different product altogether. I'm actually going to re-navigate to Amazon. We'll just pick something over here. We'll pick a surveillance and security category over here. So here's a Ring doorbell. As we dig down through here, let's pick a particular one. Now, notice the widget that pops up that's inside of the product search. I could say find me the best deal on this particular product, find similar products, what others have to say about it, and then I could do the Ask Genspark and navigate over into the other side pane there. But let's say find me the best deal. It'll actually go look elsewhere and do searches and find me other vendors that might have it cheaper. And I actually, if you go back and look at one of my videos I did on Genspark, I actually found the replacement SSD drive for my computer and decided to go through there and have it find me the best deal that was the best price, highest capacity, fastest drive with the best ratings. It did. It found me one, and I ended up getting it at a steal of a price. And all I had to do is go click on the product link and go buy it. So that was a massive help to me. I didn't have to sit there for half an hour to an hour finding the right hard drive replacement for my computer. So now notice it's doing some searches over here. It's going out, and you could go look and see exactly what it's doing, but these are actually agents. They're product search agents that it's launched to go off and do that. Now it's looking at other e-commerce platforms. Okay, it's a similar thing in the Comet browser, but I could be elsewhere. Notice it's over on eBay right now, digging through there. So I could go somewhere else, be doing something else altogether with a super agent or building something out. And because I have AI assisted browsing going on, whether it's this one or Comet or another one that might come out, it's all working autonomously for me in the background. Now you could do much more elaborate searches than this, but you need to decide if this is a decent fit for you. Is it, a good option? Now, I'm not going to sit here and let it keep digging through there and doing that. I'm going to let you guys decide on your own by trying this out if it's something you want to do. So what we are going to do is just talk about a few use cases over here, okay? So we're going to come back and talk about a few different ideas you could use for AI-assisted browsing. There's plenty of other ones, but, if you want to summarize content like I was showing you and you want to do research, you could do that. You can use that whole experience for it to help you navigate and accomplish that. The automated web browsing, it literally is doing that in the demo I showed you just a moment ago. It's off browsing, it's finding other websites. Doesn't mean you're sitting there watching it type things in. It's actually going in the background and doing that. It can do concurrent searches in either of these, and it could dig through there and do all that for you instead of you clicking and navigating and wasting time. So the other thing is kind of like what we discussed in the the Perplexity Comet browser, where you could do the personalized content, you could filter, and you could do discovery based off of your preferences, your interests. And there's many other use cases, but what I like to do with it is save me time and things that I would manually be doing. Okay, so it might be different for you. Maybe you like something to help you research. Maybe it's medical research. Okay, maybe it's health and wellness type research where you're trying to find good routines for yourself. You're trying to do mindfulness type routines or other things that you're trying to better your lifestyle. These types of browser experiences could benefit you in that regard. But just use your imagination, decide if this is a good fit for you, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments. I'll be glad to respond to you on it. Right now, all I can speak to are these two browsers that are integrated browsers that you could download. Everything's built into it. There are others, like I said, there's assisted searches inside of Google where Gemini AI assisted search is there if you want to turn it on. There's plenty of other ones that are out there as well. I've seen numerous ones, but just tinker around with it. Maybe pull down one of the browsers, install it, make yourself try it for a little bit. Okay, don't just give up on it right away, because at first I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. But I started making myself use it for a few days, and I got to where I liked it. And like I said, I settled on Genspark over Comet, but I wanted to try it and see. Okay, that's it for this video. Be sure, if you're watching this video on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe, and that way you'll be notified when we have more videos. And join us inside the Amplify AI Workshop school community, where we're building out videos and training like this, and we want to bring a really great experience to you. So you guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.